Welcome to the Larry Trello Show. I'm your host, Larry Trello. Today we will be talking about GMOs. GMOs are genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organism is any organism whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. GMOs are the source of genetically modified foods and are also widely used in chemical research and to produce food goods other than food. Examples of GMO is if you want to create an apple that can grow all year long, so you take a DNA from a fish and you put it in the apple so it can grow better, stuff like that. GMOs have brought up a lot of controversy, and I will explain 10 reasons to avoid using GMOs, and I will do the pros of using GMOs. GMOs are unhealthy. The American Academy of Environmental Medicine urges doctors to prescribe non-GMO diets for all patients. They cited animal studies showing organ damage, immune system disorders, and infertility. Human studies show how genetically modified food can leave material behind inside of us, possibly causing long-term problems. GMOs contaminate forever. GMOs cross-pollinate and their seeds can travel. It is impossible to fully clean up or contain the gene pool. Number 3. GMOs increase herbicide use. Most GMO crops are engineered to be herbicide tolerant. They deadly weed killers. Monsanto, for example, sell Roundup crops designed to survive applications of their Roundup herbicides. Number 4. Genetic engineering creates dangerous side effects. By genes mixing with unrelated species, the engineering unleashes a host of things that can be very unpredictable for us. Number 5. Government oversight is dangerously lax. I'm going to give you an example with the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration. They do not require a single study nor mandate labeling of GMOs, and companies are allowed to put their foods into markets and they don't even have to notify the agencies. Number 6. The biotech industry uses tobacco science to claim product safety. The biotech companies like Monsanto told us that Agent Orange, PCBs, and DDT were safe. Now they're using the same type of superficial, rigged research to try to convince us that GMOs are safe. Independent scientists, however, have caught the spin master red-handed and prove that what they're trying to say is wrong. Independent research and reporting is attacked and suppressed. Scientists who disagree with GMOs has been attacked, gagged, fired, threatened, and denied funding. Number 8. GMOs harm the environment. Because GMOs are crops with associated herbicides, they can harm birds, insects, amphibians, marine ecosystems, and soil organisms. They reduce biodiversity, pollute water resources, and are unsustainable. GMOs, for number 9, do not increase yields direct against feeding a hungry world. And number 10, by avoiding GMOs, the American people the people around the world contribute to the coming tipping point of consumer rejection, forcing them out of the food supply. So by being educated about it, or if you're against it, you can turn the tide and toss it out. Now, I'm going to go through the actual facts about GMOs. So are GMOs safe? Most developed nations do not consider GMOs to be safe. In more than 60 countries around the world, including Australia, Japan, and all of the countries in the European Union, there are significant restrictions on the outright bans on the products and the sale of GMOs. In the U.S., we have approved GMOs based on the studies conducted by the same corporations that create them and profit from their sales. Increasingly, Americans are taking matters to their own hands and choosing to opt out of the GMO experiment. Are GMOs labeled? Unfortunately, even though polls consistently show high numbers of Americans want to know what's in the food that they're purchasing, GMOs, the powerful biotech lobby, has succeeded in keeping the information from the public. In the absence of mandatory labeling, the non-GMO project was created to give consumers the informed choices they deserve. Where does the non-GMO profit come from? The non-GMO profit is a non-profit organization that job is to protect the non-GMO food companies and give consumers an information choice. We offer North America's only third-party verification for products produced according to rigorous best practices for GMO avoidance. Do Americans want non-GMO foods and supplements? Yes, 91% of American consumers want GMO label. And GMOs are as much as 80% of conventional processed foods in America. Now, FDA says genetically modified bruise-resistant apples and potatoes are safe to eat. Now, this is The Verge, and this is a 2015 March 21st article talking about how the FDA said this week that new varieties of genetically modified fruits and vegetables are safe for consumption. Many people disagree though. Some people feel that it is not safe because the chemicals that is used to keep it from getting bruised can be dangerous to you. So there's a huge debate about GMO labeling, and some people said food labels can be misleading and so forth because companies aren't forced to say if they have GMOs in it, but the companies that do not have it in there, many of them come out and say they do not have it. So you aren't really being told which companies have it, because the companies that do have it don't have to say they have it, you know. So I will leave you with that and hope you continue this research on GMO.